full of diamonds and gems, and we are having some fun here today. A very fresh good morning for President here. With this note, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our judges, principal man, teachers, and my friends. A prayer is the best connection to God. I request everyone to join your hands and close your eyes for prayer. Better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Now, I would like to call my senior Ayushi Chaurasia of class 11 science to take this competition forward.
A very fresh good morning to one and all present here, respected principal ma'am, judges, and all my friends. Now, I want to ask judges, can we start the first round?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
you may
The
proceed.
stripe jasmine, evergreen with a unique fragrance, cheerful with a unique feature. Now, I would like to call Isha Gupta of class A from Jasmine House who will speak for the motion.
Yes, can I start?
Yes, Isha, you may proceed.
Yes, ma'am. In the words of James Cameron, the nation that needs a renewable energy will be the nation that leads the world. A cheerful morning to Honorable Principal Ma'am, respected judges, teachers, friends, and my worthy opponents. I, Isha of grade 8A, stand before you all to speak in favor of the motion. Government should invest in alternative energy. Investments in renewable energy sources are regarded with increasing interest as an effective means towards energy independence and stimulate economic growth. Governments face a number of energy security challenges due to depletion of fossil fuel sources, climate change, and pollution. Renewable energy development is a key way to address these challenges because it can help meet future energy demand while minimizing the risk of traditional energy supplies. With every passing day, our planet is slowly becoming contaminated by the fuels we use and greenhouse gases they emit. This damage can never be reversed and continue to harm our planet. This is why I believe our government should endorse and set regulations to promote the use of alternative energy. Alternative energies are any energy that will replace fossil fuels like solar, wind, hydrogen, biofuels, hydroelectric, and geothermal. Alternative energies are the future of power. They will be the power that will sustain human life until the end. Thus, I would conclude by the words of Roosevelt. The nation behaves well if it treats the natural resources as assets, which it must turn over to next generation increased and not impaired in value. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the flower does not think of competing with next flower and next to it. Now, I would like to call Manya Gupta of class 7 from Rose House to speak against the motion.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm glad to part in this competition. My dear self, Manya Gupta, and I'm from class 7C. Today, my topic to say is government should invest in alternative energy sources. I will say for against the motion. Renewable energy is the cheapest source of new power. Renewable energy is the cheapest source of new power generation for more than two-thirds of the world and has no fuel cost. It can reduce the economic burden of energy for more than it can reduce the economic burden of energy bills by eliminating fuel charges, especially when coupled with energy efficiency upgrades in a home and businesses. There are few common reasons used to justify the government's role in alternative energy sources investment, including energy sources and affordability, the potential for job creation, future strategic positioning, and addressing environmental and other externalities. There are some disadvantages of renewable energy. The electricity capacity, the electricity capacity is still not large enough. The it has the renewable energy is unreliable. It has very low efficiency levels, and it's not always commercially viable. It's it's a huge space to it's like a huge upfront capital outlay. It has an expensive storage cost. Thank you.
Thank you, Manya. Now, a flower that struggled through a mud to emerge beautiful and whole. Now, I would like to call Purnain Prasad Pandey from Lotus House who will speak for the motion.
Good morning, all of you. May I start?
You may
May I
start.
start?
You may start.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, all of you, respected principal ma'am, teachers, and all my dear friends. Here I am Punen Prasad Pandey of class 8B from Lotus House, and my debate topic is government should invest in alternate energy resources, and I am for the motion. Government should invest in alternate energy resources as as renewable energy is the cheapest source of new power generation for more than two-thirds of the world. Hence, it reduces the economic burden as has no fuel cost. It generates more energy than is used in their production. We all know government really owns substantial development and these resources have substantially fewer emissions than fossil-fired power plants. According to International Energy Agency, ambitious investment in renewable energy and energy efficiency could lead to 63 million new jobs that solve government unemployment problem also. As per Center for International Environment Law, the insuitability of fossil fuels prices presents a global opportunity to accelerate the shift to clean energy. All helps the government. Hence, I conclude with the word a transition to renewable energy is about the making investment in our future. Thank you and have a nice day.
Simple. Now the message grace, joy, good luck and gratitude. Now I would like to call Kainat Rizvi of class 7 from Marigold House with motion.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable judges, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. Myself, Kanat Rizvi, student from Marigold House. My topic is government should invest in alternative energy. I am against the motion. Government should not invest in alternative energy sources because these energy sources result in air pollution, which is the main disadvantage of the source. It also takes a lot of energy to produce and are very expensive for use. Wind turbines create a lot of noise and it is very expensive to use. There, these sources need a lot of land and the farthest is the building can negatively impact the land, use around the environment. Electron is ultimately harmful mechanical any form of alternative energy. Any of the primary substances alternative energy the primary source is present in that solar power is given the sun is shining. Sun power is possible where movement. So, it is actually the practice because most of them is storage energy after achievement is present locally once again. That means we must increase it. Manufacturing process is possible to create the item needed to supply with power. Alternative energy sources are relatively not very efficient. These resources are mainly setting on the nature sources. Thank you.
Thank you, Kainat. The next participant is Ravjot Kaur of class 7 who will speak for the motion.
Good morning, all of you. I, uh, Rabjot Kaur, is here from Marigold House in the motion of government should invest in alternative sources. It is unquestionable that fossil fuels are the main source of energy in many parts of the world, but some nations are taking a step forward and using renewable sources like wind, solar, and tidal energy. Definitely, it is a positive development. A number of arguments surround my opinion. The main advantage of using alternative sources is that the conventional sources like oil and coal are non renewable. They take millions of years to make, and we are finishing them at an alarming rate. This means if we finish the existing resources, they will be gone forever as far as our generation and the coming generation are concerned. Energy from the wind, the sun, and the sea is an everlasting source of power. So, more and more government should come forward in promoting these sources. Another big advantage of non conventional sources is that they do not pollute the environment. We all know that global warming and damage to the protective ozone layer are caused by the carbon dioxide and other by the products of fossil fuel. If urgent steps are not taken towards the use of natural sources like sun and wind, then the time is. Thank you.
Thank you for those calls. Now I would like to call Kirti Trivedi of Class 7 from Lotus House to speak against the motion.
Good morning to respected principal ma'am, honorable judges and my worthy opponents. I, Kirti Trivedi of class 7A would like to speak against the motion. At the present time, we all know that most alternative sources of energy remain relatively expensive. Alternative energy technologies are relatively new innovations that are not particularly efficient. This poses a problem with feasibility because the investments not return even in the long term. As a result, the interest of the private investors for green technologies remain relatively low, while the government can finance only a certain amount of investment at a time. Most renewable energy generators are expensive to set up. Also, sources such as wind turbines and solar panels rely heavily on the weather. If it is not a windy day, wind turbines will not and if it is not a sunny day, solar panels will not produce much electricity as we want. Energy sources such as fossil fuel is reliable, but it will create pollution and will run out harmful gases. Nuclear power is reliable, but it produces dangerous waste that is hard to dispose of. Tidal generators produce a lot of electricity when running, but we all are aware that they could be hazardous to the local wildlife. Hydroelectric power station is the energy resource that is cheap to run, but it is expensive to set up. In short, I just want to say that alternative energy is still produced for a time. They are not continuous. They can adversely impact nature costs, and nature costs is also an important factor. The infrastructure is vulnerable, and environmental changes. That's why I strongly government should not invest in alternative energy sources. I hope I will be able to get my point of view across to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirti. The next participant is Sobia Nadeem of class 7 from Rose House who will speak for the motion.
Respected Principal Ma'am, teachers, judges, and all my dear opponents, a very good morning to one and all. I, Sobi Nadeem of Class 8A from Rose House, is here to deliver a speech on the topic Government should invest in alternate energy resources. A transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future. Multiple power failures in a day. I'm exhausted. Is there no solution to this? There is, the solar panels. Don't you think that the government should invest upon it and improve the provisions of electricity? Yes, they should invest in windmills, solar panels, and other such clean and renewable source of energy. Fossil fuels are harmful and non-renewable source of energy, but we are not going to witness the end of air or sunlight any day soon. So why not to plug to something unending? But how? We organize awareness programs and add climate changes to our yearly plans, but how much we really do? When will we learn? How much will our electricity and burning fossil fuel help us? When soon our homes are flooded, our air is poisonous, and eventually we're out of the fuels? The temperatures are swiftly rising around. The polar ice caps have begun to melt and flood coastal regions. What are we leaving behind for the generations to come? A sickly and hollow planet? My dear worthy opponents, we shouldn't think this doesn't concern us, because if any one of us thinks so, we must educate them. To compel the government is our duty. To save the planet is not to do a favor, but to save our future, our children's future, and let life thrive. Us humans are not the only species inhabiting the wondrous planet, but we can say that with a great conviction that humans are the most dangerous of all. Still, to quote Tennyson, this not too late to a newer world, and though much is taken, much abides. Our planet has never been ready to embrace a guilt-free life. Let us all join hands in hands and save our mother, the Mother Earth. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you.
India is Ritika Malhotra,
Okay, Aditi, your voice is not here. Ayushi, are you there?
Yes. The next participant is Ritika Malhotra from Jasmine House, who will speak against the motion.
Ritika.
Respected madam, teachers, and all my friends, a very good morning to all. I am Ritika Malhotra of class 8A. Today we the motion the government should invest alternate energy sources. There are few common reasons used to justify a government role in renewable energy investment, including energy security and affordability. But and their related policies approach need clarification. We need to reconsider the need of a time. According to me, firstly, the government should work for preserving those resources are already available rather than investing money on those sources which are alternatives for those sources. In our country, there are uncountable problems which need the government's favor first. In our country, where literacy rate is so low and poverty rate is so high, my dear opponent, don't you think that government should invest in these fields? I wish these problems could be eradicated first. I wish these problems could be eradicated first and then the government thinks over other issues. This I conclude my speech. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ritika. Now, the first round is over. I request the respective judges to forward the competition.
Which is right, I understand. I could not hear, no? I think this was the time. This Mania Gupta.
Okay, I would like to request our judges, so we proceed for round 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Ayushi and Aditi, it's over to you. You can just proceed for round 2. Okay, just call each and everyone for the round 2. Okay.
Success is not final. Failure is not final. It is the courage to continue that counts. Now, the judges will ask the question from each participant.
Ask the questions.
Who is coming first? Isha? Isha? Isha from Jasmine House?
Yes, second round.
Yes, the judges will ask you the question, you have to answer them. This is the round. Okay, judges are requested to put their question to Isha.
Isha. Question for Isha.
All right. Isha, am I audible to you?
Isha,
Isha,
just
are you there?
unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Isha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Isha. What are fossil fuels?
Fossil fuels are like diesel and petrols.
And
CNGs.
all right. So, can you tell me more about alternative energies?
Alternative energies like hydroelectricity, geothermal, hydrogen.
Explain me about hydroelectricity.
These are energies that will give power.
All right.
To human life.
Okay. Thank you, Isha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, Ayushi, call the next participant.
The next participant is Manya Gupta from Rose House.
Yes, Manya Gupta.
Yes, ma'am.
Manya, your voice was not audible while
At
you
the
were
time, I was,
debating.
ma'am, would I please repeat?
Hello. Now, just let me know about electricity capabilities. You were against the motion. How we will be increasing? How we will be increasing the electricity if you are against that? We shouldn't.
Okay, Manya, just
Yes,
unmute yourself.
yes, Manya. I'm asking that you were against the motion, and I'm just about to ask that electricity capability, if we are not going to increase the electricity capability, then how we are going to proceed further? As the population is increasing, electric supply is increasing, how we will be increasing our capabilities if we are not more switching towards the alternative energy sources? Yeah, answer me.
Would you please repeat? Actually, your voice is very breaking.
Manya, you were against the motion. All right, I'm just asking electricity capability. If we are not focusing to increase the electricity capabilities, then how it will be moving ahead with the future generation? If we are not switching towards the alternative sources, then how we will be managing electricity supplies? Are you getting my point?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
just answer.
By new energy sources, the fuel cells or hydro hydroelectricity.
That is the only source, alternative sources, and you were against the motion. All right, Manya, thank you.
Thank you, Manya. The next participant is Purnain Prashad Pandey from Lotus House to speak for the motion.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Purnain, are you audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, Purnain, can you hear me, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm asking a question. How should government invest? Name any one way. You were for the motion, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me any one way in which the government should invest in this field.
Ma'am, by introducing solar plants.
Good, beta, very good. Any other way? Okay, that is more than enough. Thank you, beta.
Ma'am, hydropower, electricity.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Purnain. Now, the next participant is Kainath Rizvi from Marigold House.
Yes, ma'am.
Kainat,
Yes, I'm against that.
you were against the motion, no, but you were not audible at all, beta. We could not hear properly. Okay? Still, we will put up a question and try to answer it. Yes, Kainat. Why shouldn't government invest in these resources? Tell me briefly only one reason, okay? Just give one reason about it.
Ma'am, ma'am, please repeat the question.
Again, you are not audible. Move somewhere else where we can hear you.
Ma'am, I am saying please repeat the question.
Why shouldn't government invest in this field? Just give me one reason.
Ma'am, because these negative questions result in air pollution, which is the main disadvantage.
Repeat your answer, beta.
Ma'am, ma'am, because, ma'am, it creates lot of air pollution. This is the biggest disadvantage for the.
Okay, thank you, beta. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
This will be re-button
Thank
down
you,
then.
Kainat. Now, the next participant is Ravzot Kaur of Class 8.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Ravjot.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, you added up a word, global warming. What is global warming? Ravjot, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just
Switch on your camera.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
yeah,
can I?
yes.
Ma'am, global warming is the long term heating of Earth climate system observed since the pre-industrial period.
All right. Yeah, next.
The next participant is Preeti Trivedi from Lotus House.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Kirti. You have said that we should switch towards fossil fuels only. We shouldn't go for alternative resources. I just want to ask if going towards fossil fuels and it deplete day by day, then how we are going to move towards our future?
Ma'am, would you please repeat the question, please?
Kirti, you said fossil fuels, we should work over fossil fuels. We all know fossil fuels are limited. If we are just moving over fossil fuels, then how we will be moving towards our future generation if we are not switching towards alternative resources?
Ma'am, instead of using fossil fuels, we can use that kind of fuel or anything that can't make pollution. By this, we can save the fossil fuel also and our next generation.
Can you please let me know what are the sources other than fossil fuels?
Ma'am, we can use hydroelectric power.
But that's alternative energy source, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? All right, all right.
Thank you, ma'am, for the question.
Thank you, thank you.
The next participant is Sobia Nadeem from Rose House.
Yes, Sobia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible to you, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am.
You told about icebergs. Just let me know what will be the effect if the glaciers start melting.
Ma'am, global warming. Because of global warming, the temperature can shoot up and it can just.
Sobia, I'm just asking about what will be the effect if glaciers melt.
Ma'am, those parts will start to flood, ma'am.
All right. All right. Fine.
The next participant is Kritika Malhotra from Jasmine House.
Yes, ma'am.
Ask the
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ritika. What is that? You were against the motion. Okay. So can you name any alternative source other than those which are available?
Ma'am, please repeat.
I'm asking you to name any other source, okay, other than the renewable resources which we are talking about. Can we depend on any other source?
Ma'am,
Are you getting my point or not?
yes, ma'am.
Are you getting my point?
Ma'am, the voice is breaking.
Voice is breaking, ma'am. Can you ask the question? It is echoing.
Yes, Ritika, just tell me any other source that you are speaking about uh, fossil fuels and other alternative source.
Yes,
Other
ma'am.
al-
Ma'am, coal or oil?
All right. If there will be a depletion of coal and oil, then we should have to switch towards alternative source. Don't you agree with that? We all know natural resources are limited.
Yes, ma'am.
So if they just get depleted, then what will be the alternative source from your side?
Alternative source.
All right. Thank you, Ritika.
Ma'am.
The round two is now over.
Excuse me, ma'am. Yes, Samriddhi. Do you want to say something, Samriddhi?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you want to say with that? Samriddhi, do you have any query?
To wind up, no? Present the students have to wind up. Result will be declared later on. No?
Okay, Ayushi. Now you can just proceed.
Round two is over. I request judges to forward the competition.
I request Rashmi ma'am to say few words regarding appreciating these participants, and I also request Zveria ma'am to give your blessings to these participants.
Yes. I hearty extend my gratitude to all the speakers for the competition today by sharing their graceful words, argumentative words, and answering the questions which were put in by the judges. I highly appreciate the involvement and willingness expressed by each one of you to maintain the pronounced pleasure. All right, have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, children. Thank you, children. It was a nice debate. I appreciate the hard work of every child. It was nice to hear your views, and I hope you keep up in future too. Thank you, everyone.
I want to give my special thanks to all the judges, moderator ma'am, and all my friends for joining us. Get ready for the national anthem.